fast forward, make sure them clocks is an hour faster, not an hour slower. You woke up at 8, but you went to bed at 4 thinking it was 7. Hey, we back just like that clock, baby. This is the No Pyro podcast. My name is Total Mac in the building, a.k.a. Sick Flair. I forgot my other a.k.a. because I don't even say the a.k.a.s for me anymore because I haven't been sick in a while. But you know what? It's all good.
Knock on Richard.
a.k.a. Was it Sicky Bella?
Yeah, that was one of them.
Sick Flair, Sicky Bella.
Yeah, I've kind of outgrown that gimmick. You know, I'm not stunning Steve Austin anymore. I've found my own shtick. Speaking of Austin, happy 3/16 day. I'm in the building with me as always. My tag team partners, Swervy Lee, a.k.a. SVS Swerve, a.k.a. Swervy Atmos, a.k.a. Swollen Pow, FKA Yoko Tuna, a.k.a. it's either the 1200 or it's nothing. What's good with it, big dog?
Are we the Freebirds? You said tag team partners.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be them because I ain't about to be Michael Hayes out here, but you know, Drew could be Michael Hayes, but I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it, but you know, just answer me this though: is Big E an 11-time tag champion too, or no?
You know what? Drew still out on that. Big E out here cutting serious promos, so I don't think so. He out here doing diva and testifying promos.
Chop in the air.
Oh man! And last but not least, joining us as always, No Chill Drew, aka EGB, aka Dollarita Drew, aka Applebee's Dawn, aka. Oh, you got a can of that whoop ass, huh, man?
Oh man, I'll tell you what.
I see what kind of episode this is gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those. How was everybody's weekend?
It was okay.
Now, this weekend was my birthday weekend. And you know how social media works. Friends and people you haven't seen in 15 years tell you happy birthday.
Here we fucking go.
You still haven't seen them.
So, exactly. So there's one gentleman in particular who shall remain nameless for, let's say, a minute and 4 seconds, who I'll describe to you real quick, who wished me a happy birthday by posting a picture on my wall on Facebook of a character pretending to be another character. And at a first notice, I didn't think that he would go to this length to not even waste time to Google the image that he posted on my wall. But then also I had in another chat, had it verified that yes, it was in fact a person who I had to squint and confirm it was who it was. And I just didn't like it. But I had time to think. Days went by for me to process this. And that gentleman is No Chill Drew, who wished me happy birthday. Yes, if you could guess, it was a picture of Rick Bogner, a.k.a. Razor Ramon.
Oh, my God.
Not only that, but it said, happy birthday, Chico.
I just thought this is going a little bit too far.
I don't know if it's going too far. How are you mad? I'm honoring you
Drew,
with WWE superstar, not star, superstar and Canadian legend, Rick Bogner.
Oh, my God. That's terrible.
I had to confirm in the chat. I said, wait a minute. Tell me that's not who I think it is. I'm like Booker T. But yes, I had to squint. I had to take my 2 fingers and I had to enlarge the image. And yeah, it was definitely not Scott Hall. It was badly tanned.
I don't know how you had to zoom in for that. That looked nothing like Scott Hall.
Well, pause. I had to look at his gut, and I said, okay, this isn't Scott Hall. And his face was very long. I said, this is not dude. So I was upset, and a lot
Why
of
were you upset by that? If I got Rick Bogner on my wall, if somebody took the time to make a meme for me, not just go on, Google and no, I made that shit for you.
Well, you know why, man? Because you just Wagner every damn week, so I have to associate disrespect on all fronts when it comes to Rick Bogner. So if he's mentioned, I know it's not going to be in a respectful way, especially.
No, it's not disrespectful. I was trying to pop you, if anything.
So you would rather have been Nathan Jones, is what you're saying, Mac?
Maven, Scotty Too Hottie, somebody like that.
If I put Scotty Too Hottie on your wall, that's disrespect.
Yeah,
I'm trying to pop you.
But I did watch, after I saw this, I watched the promo from AEW with Don Callis and Kenny Omega. And I thought, well, you know what? Let me just say before I say it, did you guys see this at all, this interaction?
Yeah.
You did see it. Okay, good. Because, you could have asked me to, 69 you like your boy Don Callis did to Omega in the ring. And that could have been even worse.
Don Callis is something else.
Yes, he asked another man to do that position with him on Dynamite. I said, at least Drew didn't ask me to do that.
Yo,
that saved the entire show in my eyes.
Here's the thing. You can't say pause after that. There's no pause. Like, the fuck you pausing? Like,
he did. First off, that wasn't an ask. It was, hey, let me drag you down on the mat with me, and then we're gonna get in a position and then cue the overhead shot. It was disgusting.
It's like that. That's almost as bad as saying, like, hey man, let me gargle your nuts. Pause. Like, no, what the fuck?
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am over what you did to my wall. Now, however, there is still grounds for an apology. You will apologize in a way that I want you to, and that way is by saying, you know what, Mac, for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, you shat on AEW, and I didn't see the vision. But now, after the gimmick matches and the ridiculous stunts that they're pulling in the ring, I can see that you are now right.
Well, in that case, I told you that last week.
Okay. All right. I'm here with you, man. I'm here with you. I'm just saying, we had a couple of intense moments on the show. How AEW was in WWE and vice versa. And you are my brother's keeper, Drew.
Well, hey, don't you worry, because by the end of this show, you're going to understand that I've got a few more gripes.
Oh, boy.
AEW, baby. We don't have 60-minute Iron Man matches. We have 60-year-old man matches.
Weekly.
But before we go into action, I do want to talk about something that happened just like earlier today.
Okay.
And it almost caused me to miss this podcast.
Oh, boy.
So, I go to get dinner from an establishment that will remain unnamed. Let's just say it starts with a D and ends with Domino's. So, I go there. Now, this past weekend, I had like battery issues in my car. I've been waiting for my Chomo bucks to come in so that I can get a new battery. Otherwise, I'm just waiting to get paid. But I get out to my car. Car will not start. Fuck, battery's dead again. So there's a lady sitting in her car literally right next to me. I'm like, okay. I grab my jumper cables. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. Can you give me a jump? My car is dead.
Now pause.
She looks me straight.
Pause. Little backstory. We live in the city of good neighbors. Continue.
Yep. Our nickname is literally City of Good Neighbors. Looks me dead in the eye and goes, no. I'm like, what? Like, she's like, no, I don't trust you. Rolled up the window.
She said she don't trust you. Like those are the words out of her mouth.
Like I'm asking to hop in her fucking car and hey, can you take me down the road? Like, no, can I just jump my fucking car?
She said,
so I yell through the window, can you at least move so I can get somebody to jump me? And she looks at me, looks forward.
Wow.
And so I'm just like, you fucking bitch. I made sure to say it loud enough to hear me. So thankfully, my girlfriend's father shows up with a portable like battery charger. So moral of the story is, listen, you're not obligated to help anyone. Okay? If somebody wants to get a jump and you don't feel like it, fine, you're not obligated to. The least you could do, though, is move your fat fucking ass so that somebody who is willing to help them can. Otherwise, you're just a piece of shit, and I kind of hope you get the vid. That's all I'm going to say.
Wow.
So she never even moved for you, is what you're saying?
Nope. Look fucking dead on forward. Like, nope. Not even going to fucking move.
Was she waiting for a pie, or was there like a Domino's car outside fixing a pothole?
No, it doesn't fucking matter. Like it's a parking lot, so you can move your car to a different spot. The thing is that the way this parking lot was set up, it was kind of like a strip mall. So it's not like, it's a large parking lot where somebody can just park like behind me or in front of me. It's just one row going in like a C shape.
So I don't violence, but did you get the license plate?
No, I mean.
And you didn't have cables, right?
I had cables.
Oh, you had cables. You still.
But I'm pulled in. So it's not like somebody could just pull in front of me and jump me. I need them to actually park in the spot and then jump me that way.
Damn. Well, she's an asshole, like my boy John Taffer would say. So I'm not surprised.
So, old middle-aged white women, fuck y'all, okay? Let me just say that. Fuck y'all.
Oh, don't group them all together, Drew, but...
No, we're grouping them all together. This is why your husbands can't get up. It's not ED, it's you. Motherfuckers, it's you.
Oh, damn, okay. Damn. Speaking of can't get up, I can't get up to watch the full 2-hour episode of Dynamite that we're about to review that happened last week. There are a couple segments I did have my eyes peeled on, but for the most part, boy, it's been dreary for the past couple weeks on AEW. So we'll get into that because, like Drew said, he's got a couple gripes, and yes, I am going to pile on those gripes. So please, sir, whenever you're ready.
All right, so we got Matt Jackson taking on Rey Fenix in a singles match. Phoenix gets a win here. Fun match. I don't think that Phoenix should be opening shows. Once again, I'm going to say this literally every fucking week until they do something about it. Rey Fenix is a fucking star. And the fact of the matter is, their competition fucking knows this. It's already been leaked, and, we're going to sprinkle some dirt. It's been leaked that WWE is very interested in Rey Fenix. They see him as another Rey Mysterio. Dude's probably going to be able to sell a lot of merch and, sell a lot of shit to a lot of kids. And the fact that he's opening the show against Nick Jackson and some, or Matt Jackson rather, and some, hey, we're doing this because, we might be going for the tag titles. Dude, this is like, he's a fucking star. Treat him like a fucking star.
So Drew, I guess you're answering my question. I was going to ask, does AEW know this?
Well, obviously, I understand that they think that, it's tag team wrestling. We need, dude, honestly, you don't need Phoenix and Pac as a tag team. Pac and fucking Pentagon can be a tag team. This is your fucking star here. Like, listen, Pentagon's great, but Pentagon's a fat fuck. And Vampiro will tell you straight out, and even Pentagon will tell you that. Man, he's not what he was. So he's definitely a tag team wrestler. And Pac, Pac's very interesting and pretty cool, but he's also pretty vanilla. Phoenix is the star of this team. And I'm going to say this until I choke to death on my fucking pre-made pasta. Phoenix is the fucking star. You need to treat him as the star. He should not be on opening matches doing the whole, hey, guy from tag team facing guy from tag team to push our tag team feud. Don't do that with Phoenix. He should not be in this position. Because if WWE gets their hands on him, they're going to show you how you should have made him a fucking star.
Do we know his contract?
I don't know his contract status. I do know it's the same as Pentagon's. But I don't know the length.
Are you sure they won't just group him in with Lucha House Party?
Mind you, they might. They definitely might. But from what I have seen and heard, they think he's a star. I don't think anyone in WWE thought Kalisto was a fucking star. They thought Kalisto was pretty interesting, but nobody thought Kalisto had, the star power that Phoenix has.
Well, he went one-on-one with Ryback.
Let's just stay silent at that one.
I get no respect on this show.
Well, look who you trying to push, bro. And you know you're tapping the line, and you know. So you expect
that's okay though, because one of my superstars is champion right now.
Well, did you see what happened with his stable? So that should tell you something.
That's okay. We ain't worried about that.
Okay. Hey, watching. Continue, Drew.
Anyway, Drew, what's
Yes.
that guy? Because this is the guy I think that he deserves a little bit more respect of his name too. I don't want to jump to ahead, so just you just give me the name, but you ain't got to talk about it yet. He interrupted Cody Rhodes from the audience.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right? What's his name?
That's actually the guy that I just mentioned, Pentagon.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay, cool. All right, we talking about the same guy.
So we're gonna go to Cody's segment.
Oh, okay, yeah. Go ahead, Drew, because I got a thought on that.
Hang on for just 1 second.
Dead air, talk, dead air.
While he's telling
Okay, I'm back. Holy
Okay.
shit. Dude, this fucking cat, I don't know if this fucking cat has like cocaine in his fucking system, but for the last fucking 3 days, he has not fucking stopped just fucking with shit. Just
Cat Kane.
all day, all fucking night. Like, I think he is on cat cane. I apologize for that silence. I had to throw that fucking bubble tube out of this fucking room. Because he was just like, oh, you're on a fucking podcast right now? Well, guess what, motherfucker? You're not on this podcast anymore.
cocaine.
So, we go to Cody Rhodes, and speaking of cocaine, which is, by the way, part of the Texas balanced breakfast. If you look at a balanced breakfast in Texas, cocaine is part of that balanced breakfast. 2 other things that are part of that balanced breakfast are ham and eggs.
Oh boy.
And that's where we go to this, where Cody Rhodes is taking on Seth Gargis. So, just for reference, we haven't seen what's his face from the Inner Circle, the one that left Inner Circle.
That sounds like a 3D fighter character or something.
There's a lot of wrestlers that we haven't seen in some time, and Seth Gargis gets airtime. But yeah, Cody gets a win, and if you're wondering where the Pyro from Revolution went, Cody's entrance. So after the match, Pentagon interrupts him. He uses the interpreter and their Spanish announcer, Alex Aberrante, to tell him that he could be lucky he didn't focus more on his arm, because if he did, Cody wouldn't be able to pick up his newborn girl. Yeah.
And that was all she wrote.
Did you want to say something about Pentagon? Because I know you wanted to get there.
Nah, you kind of already said it, really. I didn't know they was the same guy. I thought you were talking about Ray Phoenix earlier.
No, Pentagon's his brother.
Okay. Yeah, they he should definitely be one of the staples of that program for sure.
When Cody, or let me not stop your thought on Pentagon. Let me know when you're done because I have a thought on Cody.
Well, it's okay. So Pentagon, mind you, he was world champion in Impact, and both of them are solid individual wrestlers. And I feel like this is just AEW going, we need more tag teams. We need to come out and tag team wrestling needs to be huge. And it's like, okay, but at what point do we overpopulate tag team wrestling? To a point where your tag teams aren't even on TV.
You know how I see this AEW and WWE thing? It's almost like the console war beef between people saying, Xbox is the multiplayer shooter box and Sony has the single player games and nothing and no multiplayer. It's kind of like that with AEW where they have like everybody's in a tag team and in a WWE no one's in a tag team.
Crazy. And everyone's thinking their way is the way, but no one's got to figure it out. Reminds me of those rollouts, like you said. All right, Cody. Oh, Pedro. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I wasn't saying anything.
Okay. My quick thought on Cody might be a stupid take, but here it is. When he stares at the whatever they want to call the hard cam, and he gives a grimace look as if I'm supposed to take him as the heel of all heels. And I don't stare at his face, I stare at that fucking neck tattoo. You gotta do something about that, Cody. It's drawing me away from what you're supposed to sell me as important. I don't get it. I stare at what I'm not supposed to look at.
Yeah, that tattoo don't make him look like a face or a heel, just an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to do something about that. What is that? The bald eagle? I forgot what it is. It looks like
his little symbol, his little American Nightmare Revolution thing.
It looks like when Hogan came back to WWE. Remember, he was doing the mask, whatever. Oh God, I forget the name of the character he was doing.
Mr. America.
Yes, it looks like Mr. America helped him design that fucking neck tattoo.
So, Cody reminds me of a basketball wife. In particular, the ones that are on like NBA Wives and Girlfriends Atlanta, or you know the shows I'm talking about. And the reason I say this is because ever since he started AEW, his Nightmare Family thing has been quote unquote brand. Oh, it's my brand. American Nightmare is my brand. And I just think back to all these thoughts with wedding rings on their fingers going, I'm a brand. I'm a brand. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're fucking a millionaire. Let's face facts. If you weren't wearing that wedding ring, you'd be working at a fucking at Hooters right now. Like you are not a fucking brand. Cody Rhodes is not a brand. He's not. He's trying his fucking hardest to be a brand. He's trying his hardest to be bigger than he fucking is. You are not. Stop calling yourself a brand. Stop putting that fucking stupid symbol on everything, including your fucking neck. I think we can all agree we're all over Cody. And as far as over means, I mean, like, we're done with him.
He gonna put that symbol on his baby.
He is. He's gonna tattoo a random fucking face. We're all done with it. We're all over this shit. Like, he is the one member of the elite that we're all just like, yo, you need to fucking go away. Like, he wants so badly to be Triple H, and he's not. He wants so badly to be Dusty Rhodes. He's not. He's one of those guys who can't invent himself. He has to invent himself through other people.
So I wanted to ask too. We're sticking on Cody here. what's going on with Shaq? Is he still a part of some angle with him, or is this like an off week? Is Shaq done? What are we doing with this?
Shit, AEW's old shit. He's already fucking calling Bubba Wallace, man. Get the fuck out of here.
He's calling Bubba Wallace now?
Yeah, did you see on Twitter? He's like, yo, call me up. I'm like, I thought you were dead.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't even acknowledge that match after it happened. Like
it's just like, yo, that's some old shit. That happened on a Thursday. It's Tuesday. That's some old shit.
So what was it, like a viewership grab?
What?
It was a viewership grab to get Shaq?
Oh yeah. It was a viewership grab.
Jade and Red Velvet are best friends again.
Oh, speaking of that, don't worry. We'll get to that. Hey, we forgot about something that happened at the pay-per-view in our next match.
You know, I'm going to start calling AEW a slap in your face wrestling. Because I feel like that's what it is. I feel like they don't care about the fourth wall. It's too much. It's a peek behind the curtain that, we all don't need. I'd rather
they need to leave a lot of that shit on Being the Elite in their YouTube shows. They need to keep that shit off TNT.
Yeah, it can't be a brand whatsoever. It hurts you.
So going on to the next match, we have Ethan Page making his Dynamite debut, taking on Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson comes out with QT Marshall. Now, the reason I said that this is shit that they forgot about from Revolution is during the tag team battle royal, QT Marshall walked out on Dustin Runnels. He walked out on Nightmare Family, and basically just like walked away. Now he's accompanying Lee Johnson, who's in the Nightmare Family, to the ring. Okay. But at the end of the event, at the end of this match, he walks out again.
Wow.
Like, why is he even accompanying him to the ring? Is it like, hey, just in case nobody saw him walk out on his team at the pay-per-view, let's have him do it again. It kind of reminds me of like whenever my mom tells a shitty joke and not everyone laughs, so she just tells it again, thinking like, oh, you just didn't hear it.
Yeah,
like,
did you get it?
No, we heard it. It's just, I'm good. One thing I did forget to bring out was right before this, Tony Schiavone had a microphone. You know what the fuck that means? It's Sting.
He was Page on a dick.
So Sting shows up, talks about his tag team win. I'm glad that they're putting the young up and comer up front. Definitely not Darby Allin. We're putting Sting out front. Make sure to get Sting that exposure. He needs it. And then we get the build to the feud everyone wanted. Everyone's been asking for. Everyone needed it. Lance Archer comes out to stare down Sting. Oh man. Can you guys feel your dicks go flaccid? I know I can.
Who was a heel all of a sudden for no
reason. No reason. And it's like, hey, just so you know, I'm the real face of the revolution in AEW. Hang on. I'm the real face of the revolution, trademarked in AEW. And then Sting's just like, and then just like walked away. You got me, and then just like fucking walked away. Like this was like, listen, I fucking hate scripted promos. Maybe you need them. Like he just fucking walked away, just like okay. Like, I don't have my bat on me. I gotta go.
And when he walked away, Sting's reaction was very natural. Like, it was real because he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know why he came out and said that.
So if we get Sting versus Lance Archer in the next pay-per-view,
Cinematically.
I'm going to fall off the wagon.
They fed my man a lie and told him to go out and he couldn't deliver it and just said whatever came to his mind.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness, that analysis is true. It's just like when it was Inside the NBA. One week I was watching where it was Kevin Durant who was asked a question by Charles Barkley, and it was a long, thought out, very nice question, and his answer was simply yes. And then they stared at each other for like 30 seconds because it was like, okay, are you going to expound on your yes or what? You just, no. It was just that. And that's, I feel like, you know, not that you just say maybe because nothing else needs to be said, but it's like I have nothing else to say because I'm sad and I just don't know what you're doing.
I compare that Sting Lance segment to last week's Shane Braun segment.
Well, if you thought you upset that, just wait, because now we got the moment Mac was talking about.
Oh God,
we got Kenny, we got Don Callis, we got 6s and we got 9s.
Oh, this is gold right here.
Yo, it was gold until we got up to that point. I was like, all right.
That's what made it gold.
I said, okay, I buy into the story. You know, I like it. Then I had to come out and say what he had to say, but oh my God.
It just reminded me of something DX would have gotten away with back then.
But you know what though? Shawn Michaels and Triple H could have did that and they would have got a laugh. This isn't funny.
I don't know. I laughed at it, man. It was funny.
It's a 70-year-old man. I don't know how old Callis is, but I feel like he's like 64. 61. Asking the most over wrestler in the company, as far as athletic skills go, to get in a position that should not be on cable television at 9:37 at night. Or whatever time it was.
But then this is interrupted by Christian Cage.
Dude. Okay. What the hell are we doing with these rankings? Because this motherfucker comes out and let's just talk about how, the interaction between Omega and Cage was...
Now this you could say it was salty.
It was oh my God, terrible.
Yeah, this you could say soured the whole thing right here.
Oh my goodness. It was like two spiders fuck. Okay? It was like, what am I doing here? It was awful.
So here's my thing. If Cage is going to come in and he's going to be there to put over stars who are trying to get over and just helping the mid-card, I'm fine with that. I know I shut on Matt Hardy, but Matt Hardy's in the right spot. He's helping Private Party get over. He's helping, obviously Adam Page probably doesn't need it. I'd like to see somebody else in that spot.
He's hurting Adam Page, if you ask me.
He's hurting Adam Page, but if somebody else who needed it was in that spot, I think that he would be helping them. But he's in that right spot of the mid-card veteran. Christian coming in and just being, in a spot where he's staring down Omega for the belt is really going down like bad milk. Because first and foremost, every fucking company, whether it's AEW or Impact, anytime Edge gets a spot where it's like, oh, this motherfucker might be going to WrestleMania, these motherfuckers just tip over their fucking desk. Get me Christian. Like, I don't know what it is, but I don't know why they're like, yo, they got Edge. We need Edge light. Like, we need price right Edge. The fact that Christian just comes in and is like, hey, I'm championship caliber. Like, bro, you are not championship caliber. The fact of the matter is, like, the TLC match that you guys had at WrestleMania 17, you're going to be the last guy of any of those guys to get into the Hall of Fame. Bar none.
Yeah.
And that's if you're in the Hall of Fame. What are you doing here? Like, what are you doing in the spot? Like, he should not be staring down Omega. This pissed me off. Mainly because I give WWE so much fucking shit daily on them bringing back old timers and thrusting them in the main event.
That's why I be thinking it's not always money. These guys be wanting a championship so bad that they'll take it anywhere. That's like chicks wanting to be married. They don't care who it is. They just want a ring.
So that's Christian. Christian has admitted that that's why he turned down WWE. WWE offered him really good money to just literally sit there and do their web series and, you know, maybe do some shows on Peacock, whatever. He wants to be in the ring. He wants to wrestle. Here's the problem. When you take a WWE guy and you put him in the ring, that's fine. Look at Miro. That's fine. When they put him in that spot, I know a lot of people are like, but that's fine. When you take a WWE guy and you thrust him in the main event and thrust him in a title picture, that's where it looks bad. And that's a slippery slope. That is a really slippery slope because we go from putting Christian in that spot to eventually putting Bobby Roode in that spot or Kalisto in that spot or, you know, Cedric Alexander in that spot. Anytime that WWE releases a guy, it's like, grab him up, put him in the main event. That's a terrible look.
So then the question begs, right? If not him, then who?
We've already talked about it. I mean, you have a bunch of guys on the roster.
But who's the one? Who's the one?
I mean, I said it earlier in this episode. I think Phoenix is a fucking star, but if not Phoenix, if you're not going to do it with him, then I'd love to see another feud between Kenny and Hangman. I would like to see maybe, I don't know, Eddie Kingston maybe come in for just a shot because of the fact of what happened at the pay-per-view where he turned babyface to help Moxley. Now he's like, listen, you know, you hurt my friend in that explosion. Cough, cough, wink, wink. Now I'm coming after your belt. I wouldn't even hate it if they brought in a top Impact person for a couple weeks just to, you know, spice some things up. Like what Impact is doing.
Well,
Impact's
I feel like
next
they stop
pay-per-view.
doing that, though.
What's that?
I feel like they got to stop. They have to fall back on that and kind of rely on your guys, get them built up. Because
I get that, but just to like cycle it, maybe freshen up a little bit. Because I mean, like their next pay-per-view, Impact's next pay-per-view, their world champions taking on Kenny Omega. And
it's like if we always relied on guests to get our views. We don't need guests. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, our highest rated episode is us talking about a guest.
And that's all we need to do. You hear that, Jeff?
Listen, you know what AEW is? And I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner. But what they are, let's come up with a name for them.
AEW is early 2000s TNA.
No.
Early 2000s TNA.
No, I got something even better. Let's call AEW, and this is no shot to you, Drew. Let's just call them Andy, okay? And Andy has a shit load of toys at his disposal. He has his disposal. He has them in his toy chest. He can play with them. He can do whatever he wants with them. And every so often, Andy goes and has a favorite toy in the chest. Let's call him Woody. And every so often, Andy goes out and gets a toy that somehow becomes his favorite. Let's call him Buzz. And Woody is sitting there laying on the floor like Jack Swagger, like these call-ups from WWE or whatever other faction, and they're laid face down with their bottom of their shoe, name written on it, not played with, not touched, looking like a Miro, and Buzz is out there getting all the love. Buzz being Christian, Sean Spears, Matt Hardy, whoever they want to go out and get, they are put and thrusted into the limelight, the main stage. And this shit is Toy Story. That's exactly what this is. Every 3 weeks, they make you forget about a recent accusation. Paul White is elite. Sheeta is elite. Matt Jackson is elite. Every 3 weeks, every month, they do the same bullshit. And it's like, yo, if you're going to push somebody, don't like tap them on their back. Push them. Because then we don't have to forget about where they were or where they are 3 months later. Because you have so many wrestlers that you have. Literally, you got a pick of the litter, but you choose to go out and get a 38 or a 46-year-old retread from another company and push them instead. It's disgusting and insulting.
So I get why they call guys elite, because that's like their branding. It's all elite. It's just like when WWE, as soon as they sign, a Taka Michinoku, you're a superstar. You're a superstar. You're a superstar.
They don't give a press release. There's no press release saying Taka Michinoku is a superstar. They don't do that.
Dude, everyone who works for WWE is a superstar. Every single person who steps in that ring is a superstar.
There's no tweet from them with a picture saying Billy Kidman is a superstar.
I mean, that's their branding of, hey, we signed this person. Whenever they sign somebody, WWE literally goes, our newest superstar.
Not like AEW does.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they usually show them, in some, gym wearing a Performance Center T-shirt going, the newest superstars.
They only step when the Monday Night Raw after Mania. I will say that they do that then.
Dude, everyone's a superstar in WWE. That's literally their branding for their employees. Just like in AEW, the E in AEW is elite. So literally anyone's going to be elite. That is like their branding. I get that. It's their branding. Just like WWE calls everyone superstars, they called anyone who worked in ECW extremists, which, is fucking stupid. But it is what it is. I mean, that's their branding. That's what they're going to do. The problem, though, is that when you put them in a spot where they shouldn't be, like I said, Miro being in his spot, that's fine. Matt Hardy, that's fine. When you take Christian and you put him in a spot that you didn't give to anyone else, except for maybe I got John Huber. I forget what he was called. Brody Lee. He was in that spot for a little bit, but Christian at most should be competing for the TNT Championship. He should not be challenging Kenny Omega for the world title. That is,
or just competing against Cody. Cody's like a belt.
He thinks he's a fucking belt.
But the problem is, people have beaten Cody so much that it's not a belt anymore. It's just like, okay, yeah, I beat him too. In my eyes.
I've heard from sources that when Cody comes, he yells Crossroads.
Who's the number one contender right now?
Let me look it up.
Because I don't like how we're throwing out this. It's going to be, they do a reset for. Is this like the reset? Because maybe I'm speaking out of.
No, the reset's at the beginning of every year.
Okay. because he doesn't have any matches, so he doesn't even have any wins or losses. So how can he jump the pool of people that do?
So as of right now,
He gonna rack him up on Dark.
AEW Elevate, that's where he'll be at.
As of right now, the number one singles wrestler ranked is Pac. He's tied with Hangman Page.
Told y'all boys, man. It's always been them.
They are both undefeated in singles records this year. Followed by Moxley, who's 3-1, Cody, who's 2-1, and Miro, who's 2-0.
This is getting out of hand, man. It's gotta stop.
Christian came through and crushed the buildings.
Women's rankings, Red Velvet somehow is number one.
Hey, she lost.
Well, it's going by singles records, not tag team records.
Oh.
The baker herself, Ty Conti, with her cakes, 6-2 is number 2.
Oh man, those cakes are the 2 right there, holding her back.
Nyla Rose at 5-1 is number 3. Britt Baker at 4-1 is number 4. And Ryu Mizunami is 4-1 at number 5.
When are they going to pull the trigger on Britt Baker?
I don't know. I hope they don't wait too long.
What did you say? You hope they don't wait too long?
I hope they don't wait too long.
I don't think they can. I mean, this stuff she's doing now, I don't want to say it's being wasted, but you don't have anybody else kind of doing that. And I think the championship should be around that person.
I don't know if it's...
No disrespect to Sheeta, of course. But
I don't know if the reasoning is because they're waiting for full crowds to be in attendance, but at some point you have to pull the trigger. You can't wait forever.
Are they, or do you think they should create another singles championship just because they've got so many singles competitors wallowing? And
well, that's what the TNT championship is supposed to be.
bro, they need a faction championship because they got a lot of factions. They just
they were kicking around the idea of a trios belt.
They just don't have notoriety in any of them too much, other than like 2, that you care about. But I'm a factions guy, but I mean, it's just a bunch of people hanging together at this point.
A faction is just a group of people waiting to break up.
Hey, that's WWE, man. When it comes to their tag teams, every tag team in WWE is just waiting to break up.
Oh yeah, like we didn't see Jericho with MJF.
That's not a tag team.
It's
but
it's still a faction.
The next thing that we had on Dynamite, we had 6 women tag team action. Britt Baker, Maki Ito, and Nyla Rose taking on Hikaru Shida, Thunder Rosa, and Ryo Mizunami. During the match, Maki Ito refused to stop her pre-match musical performance. So the match was going on while she was doing her song and dance. That was pretty entertaining. The heels, Baker, Rose, and Ito did get the win on this. This is actually Ito's last match in AEW. She's heading back to Japan. Not sure a timetable on when she'll be back, but she has been pretty entertaining since then.
Any reason?
What?
Any reason why she's decided to go back to Japan? Did they say?
Oh, this was just like a few shots. She wasn't like officially signed or anything.
Gotcha.
Then we have the TNT Championship match. Scorpio Sky taking on Darby Allin. Even though Scorpio Sky did have his giant Sonic ring, it did not save him. He was all out of rings at the end of the match.
That match was good, but that finish sucked for them.
So
is this
not sucked because he lost, but sucked because of how?
Oh, because he got into the roll up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then with the most dangerous move in pro wrestling, a roll up. After the match, Darby Allin tried to show Scorpio Sky respect. Scorpio Sky decided to attack him and beat him down, and then flash a smile like he was happy about it. So we have a Scorpio Sky heel turn.
Yeah, he was Hanzo before, then he turned into Scorpion.
Is this brass ring the AEW version of the Money in the Bank?
No, this is another not so subtle jab at WWE. That's all it is.
Okay.
It's not like you're cashing in anytime. It's just, hey, it's number one contendership, but we got to get a jab. Because Cody was told he's not a main eventer in WWE.
Bro,
he's really trying to turn himself into a marquee wrestler, dude. Like, he's trying by hella high water.
What is it going to take for him to be somebody where everyone can go, you know what? All right, he's earned his stripes.
I think it'll be when he stops saying that he's the greatest wrestler ever and just shows it. Problem is he can't stop jabbing WWE for not seeing it in him. And every time that he talks about, oh, they didn't see it in me.
He's got a celebrity deathmatch his way to where he wants to be.
Yo, he's a good wrestler. No one is taking that away from him. But, female says, or a woman normally says, yo, I got some good every day of the damn week. 9 times out of 10, she ain't got no good. Or if a person keeps walking around, I got all this money, you might be the brokest one in the building. But that's, that's how that works. Just show and prove. You don't have to talk about it.
Show, don't tell.
Right. Well, not in every situation.
So now we have the last segment, which is the Inner Circle War Council. Now, this group has so many meetings it would make my job blush. I work at a job where I have a supervisor who fucking loves her Zoom meetings. And it seems like Chris Jericho loves his too. Because it seems like every other day he's having some kind of a town hall or a meeting. But here we are. Jericho and MJF lost their chance of the tag titles. He starts talking, and MJF cut him off, though, and suggested letting somebody go. Before things can go further, Sammy Guevara showed up and aired a video proving that MJF was trying to take power away from the group. As it seemed like Santana and Ortiz were about to beat down Jericho, all of them turned towards MJF and showed that Chris Jericho was onto him. So it's a bit of a double swerve of, no, I got you. And then before they could do anything, Shawn Spears, FTR, Warwick Lowe, and Tully Blanchard come down to the ring, and they beat down the Inner Circle. MJF has Jericho busted open, and they put him through a table, and then this new stable celebrates at the top of the ramp to go home.
They don't have a name yet, right?
What's that?
They don't have a name yet, right?
I don't think so.
Let me rewind, Drew. At what point, or if at all, did you believe MJF when he was groveling in the corner?
As far as I'm sorry, what was that question again? I kind of cut out a little bit.
Did you believe him when he was? I mean, how believable did he come off? Where he, no, it wasn't me. I promise you, I wasn't trying to do it. Where he's groveling in the corner.
Oh no. I mean, you knew.
Okay.
But at the same time, I didn't think that they were going to do this right away. But it feels like what happened was with Sammy Guevara. He was supposed to do some shots in Impact. That fell through because he was kind of difficult to work with over there. I think that kind of sped this whole angle up. because it seemed like he was supposed to be, because he said, I'm going away for a little bit. And then he was only gone for like a couple weeks. It felt like he was supposed to be over in Impact, progressing the storyline over there of him being away, and then he'd show up to present the footage later. It just feels like what
I saw him on Twitter saying I'm going to start wrestling in Egypt or some shit like that. I was like, what? Then I thought maybe that was a part of it. Where okay, you know,
it just feels like they did this real fast. Like they literally just got a tag team title shot, and then they're breaking up. Like I don't know. It just felt real fast.
Yeah. All right, so looks like a little blading was done by MJF to Jericho's forehead.
Yeah, with the ring.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty sweet.
I like the ending segment. That was the highlight of this week's Dynamite.
Yeah, I didn't hate it at all. My only question would be, do they let this drag into the next pay-per-view? Because there's a lot of different moving pieces now that you can put in this feud, quote unquote, where we have a faction that's newly established against the faction he turned on, being MJF.
Oh, make no mistake about it. This is going to be that War Games situation. Remember how right before COVID last year, they wanted to do a War Games type situation?
Yeah.
I have a feeling now that they can have fans back in the arena, they're going to go to War Games, like with these two factions.
Hey, if it's where it's the most interesting thing on programming, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, they could do it with Inner Circle and Elite, but they're going to do it with these two. I could definitely tell. You know, it just has that feeling.
Once that is over with, you've got a lot of stories to be written about Sammy Guevara, about MJF, about Jericho, what he's going to do after this, post this feud. Who's got the most to gain in this? Who's got the most to lose? Because obviously there's going to be another story after this, and it has to be involving a championship, don't you think?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, as far as this storyline right here, I think it might lead to somebody then going for a championship from one of these stables. But you know, the stuff that we saw in that ending segment, that's going to be on its own for a little while.
And I don't want to get stuff confused, but hear me out. I've been watching WWF/E forever. If we know the normal match chain command, it's tag team, singles push as a champion. You lose the mid card, and now you feud with the WWE champion, and you win it, and you retain it for however long, and then you lose it, and then you're stuck in that main card picture for a little bit. I don't know if AEW is going to follow that, where you've got MJF, who's in a faction, who's probably going to do a little, singles push, who maybe might get the mid championship 4, 5, 6 months down the line, and then compete against whoever the AEW champion is at the time. I don't know if they're going to follow that, and that's why I asked that question. Because if they are, logically, to me, that would either be Sammy or MJF taking that next step as far as climbing the corporate ladder. I could be wrong, though. I don't know if AEW is going to follow that, or if they even care about this, the process. This is what my father's father had to go through in order to be the man. I don't know if they're going to do that with AEW.
My biggest concern is because they mentioned the Horsemen. I hope that that's not going to be something where they bring in Ric Flair and they do a whole 4 Horsemen type thing. I don't, because we already have Tully, we already have Arn. I don't want to see that shit.
Dude, Charlotte told him to go home. I don't know where the hell home is, but if it's AEW with the rest of his compound, this is gonna get real interesting. But he's got to be under contract though, because I imagine that Lacey Evans shit was supposed to go on for a little bit longer than what it had because she got pregnant. But we'll see.
I still can't believe that.
What, somebody put one up in her?
I didn't even know she was banging like that.
Man, she out here, dog. Pumping and dumping.
Rawer than chicken at Hell's Kitchen.
Hey, you could be an NFL player getting meat put in your mouth by another man.
What?
You didn't see this, Drew?
No.
Amari Cooper?
Oh, okay. Oh, no, I heard meet the... Okay. No, with Salt Bay?
Yeah.
Okay. No, okay. Okay. I know what the fuck you're talking about for a second. I'm like, what the fuck?
I didn't know how you feel about another man putting some medium well meat in your mouth.
Well, I know how Amari Cooper feels. It's he doesn't like it.
Oh man, whoever was recording them, I don't know, man. Set my man up.
My favorite is people are pissed about it. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so disrespectful. It's like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Like, if you're okay with another dude being like, oh, you want me to put this meat in your mouth? No, get the fuck out of here.
To be honest with you, if a girl was doing it, I don't even know if I would still like that.
Yeah.
Because
maybe, but I don't want a grown man to be fucking putting meat in my mouth. Oh my gosh, that's homophobic. Get the fuck out of here.
What if it was just y'all two?
Yeah, that's a no for me, dog.
I'd say we were watching Saturday Night Live in a little segment called the Ambiguously Gay Duo. If that's what, was going on, but
I mean, if that's the case, I'm the top.
Oh my God. Just imagine you sitting there with your boy, you're watching a UFC match, and you guys order pizza and wings, and he says, but you can't take the meat off for all this bone. And he puts the wing in your mouth. Yes.
Why do you have to make it something phallic in nature? Just has a drumstick just like circling your lips.
No, not the drumstick, bro. The flat.
No, it's the drumstick, and then he pulls it away and just slaps your chin.
Ugh. All right. We're getting off track.
The flat, man. Let me see what that tongue do.
No, what the fuck? Thank God nobody listens to this fucking podcast.
You can't eat a flat.
This is gonna be the one. This is gonna be the one that gets all the views, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh."
Hey, if you are here eating a flat without using your tongue, man, God bless. But I'm just saying, that's how I go. Especially a meaty joint, you know what I mean?
Hey, if you're out here having grown men feed you your flats, that's your business.
I don't even eat flats. I'm a drum guy, so.
You don't eat flats?
I don't even eat them. I don't prefer them.
Oh, man.
Drumline over here, baby.
The flats are the superior wing.
In your eyes. But you get a lot of things wrong, so,
But I'm a 51-49 because I do like drums, too.
51-49.
You know what I mean? Let's not get it confused, man. I just calling your local eatery saying, can I get all flats? All right, that dude. I need me some drums in there too. I'm just saying.
I'll be mad about it, but I'll pay the extra for the drums. You know what I'm saying? All drums.
All drums matter? That's where you at? All right. Drew, I believe that is it for AEW.
For Dynamite, the one thing I do want to bring up, because they had their debut of Dark Elevation commentated by Tony Schiavone and Paul White. Two things that I have issues with on the show. The first is attention to detail. Listen, I get that the show is taped right before Dynamite. I get it. It is what it is. How fucking hard is it to change the backdrop behind the commentators? If your show is on YouTube, I should not see TNT shit all over the place. Also, the segment with Kenny Omega on AEW Dark Elevation where Tony Khan decided that he wanted to play an authority figure. I want everyone to go back to that segment, watch it on YouTube, close your eyes, and tell me that Tony Khan does not sound like an angry Bernie Sanders. You'll never hear it the same again.
Drew, can I just say something about Dark Elevate?
Yeah. Besides the shitty name.
Yeah, well, yeah, that. But just paying attention to the commentary, I didn't hate it.
Is it because your expectations were so low?
Maybe a little bit. But I like how Paul White knows his rotation in the commentary team. There's not a lot of overstepping. For it to be their first show, not a lot of, hey, man, this is my spot. You stay over there. Hey, man, you stepped on my toes on that last comment. I don't hear that.
It's a two-man team, ain't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, well, I mean, how much stepping on can you do?
Have you heard Jim Ross and JR?
I told you, I don't pay attention to the commentary like that.
Well, as a commentary person, I do. I pay attention to it. It's like you leave and I'll follow. Or, hey, you talk about what just happened and I'll talk about why it happened. That's what they're doing.
Mm.
A lot of different commentary like Michael Cole and that schmuck Corey Graves. That's a lot of stepping on each other's toes. Corey Graves doesn't let Cole breathe because Cole has to, or Graves has to interject.
Well, they have that heel face dynamic. What is the dynamic between Paul and Tony?
I feel like I'm getting educated versus, them cheering a guy. And
okay, so you feel like it's of another sport then, just because they don't do that in other sports. So you feel like it's like that then,
right? Like, I feel like if a guy at a certain point in the match does a drop toe hold, I'm getting educated why they're doing it at that point. It doesn't feel like the comment, hey Cole, he's going for his knee because last week he got beat up and they put the steel steps against his knee. I don't get that type of commentary with Show and Schiavone, or White and Schiavone, I should say. It's more of they're playing the harp versus a fucking grunge band where there's too much going on. It's a nice flow.
Especially since the majority of the matches on the show are squash matches, with a healthy dose of ham and eggs. It's nice to see that they give it attention to detail with their commentary. Not so much everything happening behind commentary. That, of course, like I said, the attention to detail sucks. But it is good to see that they do have a good flow.
It's kind of like big shows like the Tony Romo of whatever they've got going on commentary-wise. Because you expect Taz to say some dumb shit.
And he does.
And Big Show's kind of like, well, let me explain it, why this is happening or what's about to happen. It's not that reactionary commentary. Hey, Cole, he's got a steel chair. No. Big Show.
Undertaker Goozle.
Yeah, Undertaker's not giving you that type of shit.
But you don't feel that way about the regular show, though, right? Or do you?
You mean with Excalibur and
yeah,
JR and them?
Let me just say, and I'm going to say it right now, I absolutely fucking hate 3-man commentary tables. With a passion.
Yeah, I don't know where this train was supposed to end, but it hasn't gotten there yet.
And the main reason I hate 3-man commentary tables is because you have usually the commentators try to get their shit in. So when you have two of them, it's a lot easier for each of them to get their shit in because they're just you that talk and I talk. The problem is when you have three, it's you talk. The parts of the match that are supposed to be silent, where a 2-man team can be silent and let the fans just take in the action or take in the moment, you're going to have somebody talking over it because that's their moment to get their shit in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what happened when it was like JBL and Byron and Michael Cole. Like, you didn't need that. But, I mean, with the A-team on Dynamite, I mean, they're not horrible, but they definitely could use some cleaning up. And for whatever it's worth, 4 or 5 months down the line, Big Show's doing real good at his job. I wouldn't mind seeing Dynamite switch to a 2-man.
So first and foremost, I do like Excalibur because Excalibur at least knows the wrestlers. He knows them because he worked with them. I like Shivani because Shivani has the energy. He can usually keep pace and follow along regardless of who's in the ring. The odd man out is JR.
Well, Drew, why do they have 2 call guys?
Exactly. It's mainly just because we could get both of them, so we have both of them. You don't need JR and Shivani. You don't. Shivani works great, but I have a feeling that if they do break it down to a 2-man group, Shivani's the odd man out. Because of the fact that he's already on Dark Elevation, if they have to cut it down, I'm sure JR is making way too much money for him to go anywhere else but Dynamite. I mean, he doesn't even work the dark matches on the pay-per-views. When they do a dark match on a pay-per-view, at the end of the dark, right before they're about to go to the showtime, JR comes out to the ring. Like,
he's a star.
Like royalty.
I mean, he shouldn't be. I get it. Listen, he's paid his dues. He's done everything. But we talked about it. I think it was last week, where at a certain point, people have to step aside and let the new generation come up. There's a reason why John Madden is not doing commentary anymore. It's not because he couldn't find somebody to pay him. It's because, listen, I've lost a step. These younger guys are coming up. They're better. Let them take the reins. I'm sure if John Madden wanted to, he could come back and get a job at CBS or Fox or something. But why? He would only drag it down. JR does not need to do commentary. He could do some administrative work. He can help behind the scenes. He has experience with talent relations, so he can help AEW in that respect, because quite honestly, they need somebody in talent relations who is not one of the wrestlers.
Drew, you're wrong, man.
What?
And I'll tell you why you're wrong. Because AEW wanted to show the fans that, hey, I don't know why JR is not commentating on WWE programming. Let's go ahead and steal him away from them and bring him over here. It's a familiar.
Well, guess what? They found out why he's not commentating on WWE programming.
He's garbage.
He's lost a step. He's lost a couple steps.
Well, he has taken a lot of stutters.
He's got a lot of stutters, but also he's
taken a lot of stutters.
Oh, stunners. I'm sorry. But also the main thing, number one thing, he does not know the product. And it does not seem like he bothers to learn it. He shows up, and if a guy wants to talk to him, he'll talk to him. But if not, hey, I'm just going to be in the makeup chair, get my shit ready, and go to the table. And I'm just going to call the match as I see it, and not really pay attention to any of the product. And you could tell because when a guy comes in from another territory, or if it's a young guy when AEW first started out, you could tell he had no fucking clue who he was watching. He had no clue the moves, nothing. And you could tell. That's not a good look. at a certain point, you date yourself, and he has dated himself. You can't be out of pro wrestling that long and then just show back up and expect to just pick right back up. Wrestling is very similar to the music industry, where if you're out of the music industry for 3 years, that's an eternity. It really is. Think about a musician who didn't put out an album for 5 years, didn't tour, didn't do anything. 5 years and try to come back. They didn't come back the same way that they did. Nobody's buying a Chingy album. Am I still on?
You're here.
Okay. I was so worried. I just ranted.
I just want to see you was gonna go with that.
Hey man, I'm over here getting educated, man. I'm listening.
No, but I'm serious though. Like, nobody's fucking going and buying a fucking, shit. I'm trying to think of, okay, so I brought up my parents earlier. One of my mother's favorite singers was Shania Twain. Obviously she's
impressed me much.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh.
Went away for a little bit, got divorced from her husband, tried to put out an album a little bit later on.
Now hold on, Drew. Kids. Shania Twain was fucking huge.
Not only that, but in her heyday, she can get it.
Oh, what? Easy. Could have got it easily. Continue.
Comes back, puts on an album. This is my comeback album. And it went over about as well as... It went out over about as well as the Confederate flag at the NBA All-Star game. Nobody liked it. Nobody gave a shit about it. Everyone turned their back and was like, yo, I don't know you. You've been away for far too long. You don't got it anymore. That was my analogy. Poor analogy. I couldn't really think of an analogy where people just don't care. You got a better one, come up with one. I didn't have it. I'm sorry. I'm off today. So
you're good.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is it came out, nobody cared. It's the same way with JR. He was away for so long, came back at WrestleMania, did his one match, got through it, even though the match was, horrendous. And AEW's like, he's still got it. Let's bring him in. And he comes in, and you see the result.
Yeah.
Sorry for the long-winded rant, but I had to get that out of there.
Well,
what do we got next?
SmackDown happened, and I'm not gonna go through, every single match because it was the go home show before Fastlane. Or no, I'm sorry, they got one more show before Fastlane. So I'm not gonna talk about it. Big E in the Apollo Crews segment, I do want to touch on.
By the way, on a scale of Bludgeon Brothers hammers to Civil War reenactment muskets, how real do those spears look that he comes out with? Apollo Crews, I'm saying. Those look like Party City spears. Am I wrong?
I haven't seen them.
Yeah, they are definitely teetering on, hey, kids, go out and grab in the closet at school the school play we're going to put on.
Like, I don't even think that the tips are, like, metal colored. I think they're, like, yellow. Like, they couldn't even fucking paint them realistic.
Yeah, unbelievable. So Big E cuts a promo basically saying, yo, Apollo Crews, I'm here to maim you. let's go Old Testament. This is what I'm here to do. What do you think, Swerve, because I know this is your boy, about the way that he delivered that? Is it a change in persona for him, or was that a one-off?
It could be a change, but I listen. I have to see like 2 or 3 more because when it was happening, I gotta be honest. I did not take that serious. I was like, wait, what's happening here? He's not smiling. He's trying to get his teeth grit and his face shake on, but I don't think he had a lot of practice doing it because he's always been happy. So it didn't come off right away. So by the time the promo was ended, I was like, okay, he really meant that. But I think I need to see some more serious promo work before I can get behind him. Pause. It's kind of like when a popular comedian takes a serious role. You don't really uh, just roll with it right away. You got to see like a couple of them before you say, okay, I can take him as a serious actor now. That kind of thing. So that's kind of where I'm looking at that with Big E. I'm not just going to be on board with this one. I got to see a few more before I'm like, okay, I can see the switch, and because he's going to have to do this if he wants to get the big chip. So
I absolutely love that analogy, by the way, about a comedian taking a serious role, because especially from Big E, you never know with WWE's writing if next week he's going to be dancing and singing and clapping again. You never know with that. So I like that analogy because that's pretty spot on with how they do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can that. I just don't know with Big E if him scowling at the camera is hinting at a heel turn.
Big E? I wouldn't say it's doing that. It's just kind of like look at what Drew McIntyre did before he got the belt, right? He was getting that fan support with that stupid clap thing he was doing. But after he got it, he kind of stopped doing that. And it was just mostly serious talk. So I think that's how they're trying to transition him a little bit, at least in that space. But I think, we just need to see more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a heel turn as much as it's just a change in a serious persona. That they want to make Big E more serious, but I hope that they teeter that line a little bit more, reel it back, because when he first showed up in WWE, he was super serious, and it went nowhere. And I just hope that they realize that he's not just a big muscle guy just there because he has muscles, but he has a personality, and he can be electric, and you have to let him use it.
So if it's not a heel turn, but we're kind of, leaning toward a character change of sorts, do we get a new singlet? Do we get new pants? Do we get new music?
I mean, at the very least, I would hope we get new music. We can't keep coming out to that.
Yeah, I can't. I can't hear him say, "Let's go Old Testament," and I'm gonna whoop you, and I'm gonna, shake in the ring as I talk, and then I have to hear the music that you once flung pancakes into the crowd with.
from your nuts.
Yeah, right, exactly. I forgot about that, man. I tried to forget about it, but thanks. But if they are gonna distance him from New Day, cool. But just give me that backstage locker room moment at Mania where, he's got gold, New Day has gold, which we'll talk about, and they could kind of say, "Hey, man, what's up? Long time no see. See you here doing your thing. I saw your thing." Something like that,
Yeah, but they don't need to come out together when they're on the same show for
No,
whatever reason.
no. And this is what I'm talking about with the fourth wall. Look, we know New Day. We know they are brothers for life. We get it. But at the same time, somebody can move on character progression wise and don't have to be stuck with the same gimmick for 20, 25 plus years. And New Day can be the same New Day that they are, and Big E could go on and do something different, but they can still acknowledge what they had again without breaking the fourth wall on TV. Moving on, there's another thing I want to talk about that happened on SmackDown. Seth Rollins.
That awful green suit.
Yeah. Him and Cesaro. I mean, he did the swing on him a couple weeks ago. He lost his cool when he was talking about it. Then he just basically threw around Murphy. I mean, every WrestleMania we look to the card for the match that's gonna have the best wrestling match, and it normally isn't the best match on the card as far as what the WWE may view it as. I don't know if they're trying to make us feel like this is it, but I just don't see it.
Cesaro and Seth
Right.
stealing the show.
I don't want to say steal the show, but every year you look on that card and say, okay, which match is going to be my 20 plus minute match where it's going to tell a good story back and forth. And I don't know if they're trying to make us feel like this is the match here. Because Seth and Cesaro could go 20 plus minutes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know if this is a push or a burial for Cesaro, to be honest with you.
Damn.
I think only, more time is needed to tell. If he wins, great. But can Seth really lose? You know what I'm saying? Well, that's kind of like where I'm at because he's doing this mid card program right now where him and Roman are interacting because they're both heels. So it's like you got to keep him hot. And I just feel like Cesaro is the sacrificial lamb. But hey, I could be wrong.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'm not invested in this match. I don't know if any of you are, but whatever. Another WrestleMania match I wanted to talk about. They're finding a way to keep Daniel Bryan relevant in this Roman Reigns shit. And what I thought was going to be a singles match between Edge and Roman, I feel like we're getting a triple threat match. Like Bryan, Edge, and Roman at Mania. Maybe I'm wrong.
Seems like it, right? And
like it.
I'll say this: if you do wind up getting that, that is very telling.
Telling for who?
Specifically for Edge.
Oh man, is it main event worthy?
Well, I mean, it's 2 days, so I'll say they'll do everything they can to make it that way.
Yeah, because earlier on SmackDown that night, Daniel Bryan came out and basically got called out by Edge for his dastardly, or what some people may call just Daniel Bryan tactics. So
And that's something Edge shouldn't even be doing right now. He shouldn't
right,
even be doing that.
I was about to say, why at the same time are you? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. This is what I hate about Mania sometimes, man. It's like they try to put all of the fantasy match speculation and dreams into one match, and sometimes it hurts. It hurts more than it helps because I don't need to see Daniel Bryan, Edge, and Roman together.
Well, look at it like this. On paper, Edge versus Roman Reigns, how does that sound?
It's something I know how it's going to end.
It sounds like there's going to be more spears than a tribal village.
Okay, so now when you think about the actual matchup between the two, just those two, because I was thinking about this the last time Daniel Bryan was inserted in the main event, and although there wasn't any steam necessarily behind Randy Orton and Batista, I think they would have matched up well, but just not be in place last, if you know what I mean, right? I don't necessarily think Edge matches up with Roman just because he has a spear. It's a nice, thing to bill as first time ever kind of thing if you want, but you might need Daniel Bryan in there just for some sort of mat wrestling. Like, this is your Royal Rumble winner, and you're not going to really get that out of Edge and Roman. So, Daniel Bryan's the wild card. He can give you that with both of those two. At least make it look better. At least make him look better. Edge is up in age, and Roman doesn't have those types of skills. So he might be very necessary for this. Although it doesn't. It just sounds like Big Show, John Cena, and Edge, right? Remember those triple threat matches? Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, Randy Orton. Nobody remember those matches or cares about them, right? They sound terrible. But this one, I can kind of see why Daniel Bryan would be inserted into this one. If you just think about the matchup between Roman and Edge by itself. To me, it sounds good on paper, but I just don't know how it's going to play out in the ring. As far as styles go.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he's there to make up where Edge can't, or where he'll lack.
Hell, Roman too.
But man, I mean, we all know and love Daniel Bryan, but at this stage of the game, March 16th, is he main event worthy right now? I don't feel like he is.
No. I feel like with Daniel Bryan, he reminds me of somebody who's better off not wrestling. Like his stock lowers every time he gets in the ring.
Mick Foley?
What's that?
Mick Foley?
Yeah, kind of. He just like every time he steps in the ring, his stock just lowers. Yeah, he's a great wrestler, but I think that when he was out for those 2 years and everyone wanted him back, his stock was sky high. It's just like, man, I can't wait to see this guy wrestle again if he ever gets in the ring. And then he did. And every match he had just chipped away at that just a little bit more because it's like, yeah, he's wrestling again, but then you start to realize, like, okay, maybe he's not as good as we thought he was. Maybe he was better before that, but now he's at the point where you could tell his full-time status is coming to an end.
And with that being said, Drew, I feel like this is why he might be inserted into this match. He doesn't have to win it. Just have to participate.
But here's the thing. We've already gotten that main event WrestleMania moment with Daniel Bryan. He doesn't need it.
Well, he won the championship there. I'm not suggesting he win here. Participating is what I'm saying.
But he doesn't need to participate again. You can find somebody else younger to put in that spot. Why not Lashley? Why is Lashley not the main eventer? What?
How old is Dale Bryan?
Let me take a look. 'Cause I know
not
he already
saying
said
50.
Yeah, but he already said he's almost done.
I think he's like 43. He's 39.
39, but at the same time, his body's not great. He's pretty banged up, and he's already said this is like his last year wrestling full time.
Man, Drew writing them off early.
No, he's already said it. It's not me, it's him. He's already said it.
Most people don't get they first start till they hit 40.
Hey, 9 more. Now they're pulling that shit back. Don't forget.
I mean, I feel like with Dale Bryan, he's got a I don't know. It's like no one's asking him to do the yes again because it popped.
You gotta remember, Daniel Bryan's been wrestling since he was 18, 19. So he's been wrestling at a high level for a very long time. Now wears your body out. It's not something like Batista who can show up when he's 35 because he's never wrestled a day in his life. He's just a big guy, and it's like, oh, my body's fine. Yeah, you've never wrestled. Like, this dude has been wrestling since he was 18. He's been wrestling longer than he's actually not been. So in his life, he's wrestled more than he hasn't.
Yeah.
And I don't want to shoot too far ahead of this match. I know we got other things to talk about, but just remember, when it's a triple threat match, it's usually done to protect somebody.
Well, the only person I can imagine they would be protecting, the only person in that match who would need protecting is Roman. Because you're not trying to protect Edge. Edge is just there to give eyes on the screen. Daniel Bryan's on his way out. The only one who would need protecting is Roman.
So why do you protect him, Drew?
What's that?
I don't agree. Why do you think he needs to be protected?
Well, I mean, so I'm not saying he needs to be protected as much as if we're going by that logic of if it's a triple threat, it's to protect somebody. Well, then who needs the protecting out of those three?
The most?
The most.
Edge.
As far as not being the one pinned, why?
Say it again.
As far as not being the one to take the pin but still lose, why? Why would Edge need that protection?
Never beat your heroes. Wow, Daddy, he looks so cool on TV. Can't wait to meet him. You meet him and he's an asshole. And then Edge is somebody who's supposed to, at bare minimum, hold the candle to Roman Reigns. Well, when you find out he actually can't do that, how are you going to dress it up? And I think you dress it up by adding Daniel Bryan into the mix.
Well, I think everyone is well aware that Edge is not going to be on the same level of Roman.
But guess what, though? When you're supposed to be main eventing the biggest show in your company's history, you better damn well not just be there because of your name. You better be able to prove, too.
Not only that, this is the comeback show.
Right. You lost to Randy Orton and you still got the spot. And you run the Royal Rumble. So you got a lot riding on the proverbial shoulders of main eventing at WrestleMania. But, I mean, I've seen weirder shit happen. That could be like WWE bringing Sting in and saying, hey, Sting, we know you're a get. We know you're a name. you want a main event Mania for us? Guess what? You just have to take 2 spears and you lose. But you can't get the fact that you main evented Mania taken away from you.
I just feel like with WWE nowadays, they don't really care if you can hang. It's the name. It's, hey, tune in, and if you're not satisfied, oh well, we already got your subscription to the network, or in this case, Peacock. So,
well, yeah, because dude, what it is now is idiots like on Good Morning America, and they'll say the name, and we know the fan base of Good Morning America, probably 35 to 64, maybe even 40 to 64. It's like The Rock is going to be main eventing WrestleMania, or I don't want to say The Rock because he can kind of perform. Edge is going to be main eventing WrestleMania. They leave out the fact that this motherfucker's had career-ending surgery, broken neck, broken back, legs fucked up. They leave all of that out, but it's the cachet that the name still carries, and they just run with it. But it's like when you sign up for the pay-per-view, you watch, and you feel like you wasted $64 because, Edge isn't 28-year-old Edge, he's 46-year-old Edge, and you forgot that part when you ordered the pay-per-view. But they don't sell you on that.
And let's be clear, Edge doesn't have that kind of stock.
No.
I can't walk outside to a stranger and be like, yo, who was Edge? I mean, some people might know, but not everybody.
He had that when he came back, when it was him and Orton. He had it then. Now, not so much. But we say that, I still believe Daniel Bryan doesn't have that whatsoever, though.
Yeah, I'm speaking from just enjoying a wrestling match, so to speak.
So
that's where he comes in.
Let me ask you this: Drew and Swerve, rank the superstars in that match from 1 to 3. One being
based on what?
Based on the power rankings right now.
Okay, but are we basing it on their in-ring talent? Are we basing it on name power? Or are we basing it on just our personal feelings towards them?
I mean, leave out the personal, but sprinkle in everything else. But keep in mind, it is 2021.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's got to be Roman, Edge, and Daniel.
Really?
I would say Daniel Bryan's number 3, Edge number 2, Roman's number 1.
Yeah, we said that.
Overwhelmingly say Bryan was number 2 and Edge was number 3.
No, I don't see Edge as a number 2, as a number 3. Just name power alone, Daniel Bryan. I don't know. He's always been too vanilla for me. I think Edge can cut a better promo, and he was better in the ring. I don't know how he's going to look at WrestleMania this year, but, at Royal Rumble, he at least held his own.
If we're just talking about stock and a name, then yeah, it's me, Roman, Edge, Daniel Bryan. If we was in the same position and you swapped out Daniel Bryan for John Cena, then it would be Cena, Roman, and whoever the third guy is.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens Friday and whatever Fastlane brings us. But that was all I have for SmackDown. Did we want to get to some dirt?
I don't know. Do you?
Shit, we can roll around with some mud real quick. Drew, I'll get dirty with you.
All right, pause.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
You want to start or you want me to start?
You can start.
All right, so it's been revealed who got the ball rolling on Christian signing with AEW. It looks like John Moxley was the one who got him into AEW. It was like Christian was mulling over his options, and he mentioned that Moxley had reached out to him and stated that he really thinks he should give Tony Khan a call first before he signs anything with WWE, and that's really how Christian ended up in AEW. So if his run turns into a monumental flop, you know where to send your hate mail
to. Sports reporter John Alba confirmed a report that was printed by Ringside News that said the WWE will move Raw and SmackDown to the University of South Florida's Yuengling Center when the Tampa Bay Rays baseball season starts up.
Is he related to Jessica Alba?
I have no idea. But it's not known right now if it's going to be the Thunderdome setup or if it's going to be actual people in the arena. They hold up to 10,000 people, so it'll be much smaller than what they've been used to.
Okay, so AEW teased that they were bringing in a Hall of Fame caliber talent when they teased Christian. But WWE revealed the first member of the Hall of Fame this year, and that is Molly Holly, who's going to the Hall of Fame. They've also announced that the Hall of Fame inductions will take place this year. It will be in a Thunderdome setting. They do plan on having as many Hall of Fame inductees as they can live, but it will be in a Thunderdome type setting.
They're doing a 20 and 21 inductee, right?
Yep, they'll be doing both of them together.
Oh, yeah. Got.
Speaking of Hall of Fame or potential Hall of Fame, there was a wrestler who is with a future Hall of Famer, dating them, who did not appear on Raw yesterday. And he actually he wanted his release granted from the WWE, but it was denied. Any guesses?
Oh, I already know who this is.
Yeah, we already know.
Yeah, Andrade said, "Get me out of here." And
Andrade is all elite.
So there's that.
So Vince denied his release, but that has not stopped Andrade from removing all WWE information from his social medias.
Even Charlotte, because she's information.
Well,
rumor has it that Fastlane may have been put on the Peacock network so that the WWE and their officials can test out some kinks so that WrestleMania 37 can run smooth. You buying that?
Yeah, I would test it out on a shitty pay-per-view before putting WrestleMania on this.
Okay, I can see that. I agree.
So is it going to be like on both, or is the network dead as of this weekend?
Network's dead as of this weekend.
All right, guys. Well, I guess I will see myself out.
Miro and Jim Cornette found themselves in a quite bit of Twitter beef this past week. This all spawned from Jim Cornette making a comment about Penelope Ford calling her Kip Sabian's slutty girlfriend. Miro did not take kindly to this. Neither did Kip Sabian or really any other wrestler. Let me just
You
pull
said
it.
you said neither did Kip Sabian, but it only sounds like Miro defended her, and that's so weird.
What's that?
And so you said neither did Kip Sabian, right? So I'm guessing he said something too, but nobody
Yeah,
made that headline. So it
Kip
just sounds like
Sabian.
Miro defended her.
Well, the only thing Kip Sabian said was that when Jim Cornette dies, his funeral will be joyous occasion. I couldn't pull the tweets, but I did see that Jim Cornette did have one defender, and that is resident crackhead himself, Charlie Haas.
Charlie Haas is a crackhead now?
Have you seen him lately?
No.
He looks like fucking hell. Hey, Rusev, see what happens when you open your mouth at Jim Cornette. One of the greatest minds in this business. A, respect your elders. B, you have no say. You let them book you to watch your wife get banged by Lashley. Please, well deserved with this shit tag match on Dark. LOL, your wife left you. That was my add-on to Charlie Haas.
Jason Jordan out there slinging wood.
He is, and not at his wife.
Wait, what? Wait. Back it up.
Swervy
First
dirt.
Okay, yeah, Swervy. I'll let you get this dirt.
Oh wait, I don't know.
Wait.
I don't know who it was, but who was having it with it. She, I guess, called him out for cheating, saying that she can please stop telling me about it or something like that. You can have him.
So what it is it was Jason Jordan's wife.
Yeah.
Who went on social media and says, basically a bunch of women, like several women, have been contacting her saying, yo, your man is showing up in my DMs in my bed. Here's all the shit he sent. And she's like, listen, I appreciate it, but please stop. Like, I get it. So Jason Jordan is not with his wife anymore because, he's just slinging it all over the place.
I'm guessing that Richard ain't broke, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Drew McIntyre was on Raw Talk this past week, which is the post show for Raw, and made his own headline when he dropped a word that Vince is not very appreciative of. Would you like to guess which banned word in Vince's vocabulary Drew McIntyre uttered?
Is it championship or something like that?
Mac, you got any thoughts on that?
I don't know what the word was, but I'm dying to hear it.
Drew McIntyre talking about his feud with Sheamus. Let me pull up the exact quote. I want to get it right. Okay, so he's talking about Sheamus, and he says, okay, it would have been simple to get a WWE title match. Just ask me. Just bloody ask me. You're my best friend. You want to do that live on Raw, sever our friendship, all that fucking, and then paused immediately, realizing what he had just said.
Jesus.
Needless to say, this segment was not on the WWE Network the next day.
I'm surprised I didn't catch this on Twitter or the dirt sheets.
I mean, it's on the dirt sheets.
Oh, okay.
So Sasha Banks has a lot of fans, but there's one person in particular who's not a fan and was actually very outspoken and stated that Vince McMahon should have fired her immediately in 2019 when she asked to go away. This person, of course, is John Cena, Sr.
What?
The father of the 16-time champion decided to throw his 2 cents into it, saying Vince should have fired her immediately when she has to go away.
But why, though?
Fucking knows. I mean, this guy's all over the place. This guy's a nut. this is the same guy who when Edge was having his feud with John Cena early in their careers, they did the angle where Edge attacked Cena's father, and they had to do the take literally 16 times because every time John Cena's father kept on adding more shit into it, trying to get, a promo going. All you were supposed to do was take a punch. Did you have anything else before I go on to my last bit?
He was trying to live through his son.
I have one more piece. And that was Brock Lesnar will not be at WrestleMania 37. I don't know if there was a deal that fell through, or if they couldn't get him, or if he just said, screw it, I'm not coming back. I don't care how much money you throw at me, but he is not going to be at Mania. That's all I got.
Well, I'll tell you who is going to be at Mania. That is a lot of people. So WWE has stated that their plan for WrestleMania, as far as attendance goes, is 75% capacity each day. This would make the attendance per day 45,000 people.
Or, in WWE terms, 125,000 people with no WrestleMania record.
90,000 people for WrestleMania.
And then someone was like, is anyone going to tell her this building only holds 30,000?
Well, until I heard that fan count, I was going to say Undertaker's not going to be at WrestleMania, but now I don't know.
So this, if they do sell that many tickets to WrestleMania, which it's in Florida, so you know how they are, this would be the largest gathering of people since COVID broke out.
Open Mania, baby. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Hey, let's test those vaccines. You want to talk about that vaccine? You want to put some rubber on those? Wow. Fuck. I'm so fucked up today, man. I'm so fucked up. Dude, I've been fucking pissed ever since that bitch went and jumped my car. It's fucked me up today. I can still see her dumb face. Let's go on to the next fucking topic. God damn.
What is the next topic?
Either
I think it's
Raw
Raw
or Fastlane.
Oh, shoot. I forgot about Fastlane.
So let's just breeze through Raw. Raw happened last night, and before I even talk about Drew and Miz and Sheamus and Lashley and Sheamus, well, you know what? No matches have been announced yet, but I know for a fact we're getting Strowman and Shane. Shane threw slime all over Braun Strowman after he elbowed him onto the announce table. And I will say this. There's a place in the United States where there are burials done above ground. That is New Orleans, Louisiana. If, and I mean if, Braun Strowman loses to Shane at WrestleMania, they might as well film that cinematically in the great city of New Orleans, Louisiana, because that, my friends, is an above ground burial.
Tell me about it.
There is no reason why Shane McMahon should be beating Braun Strowman in anything.
People keep saying the checks is big. That's why you're there. I'm like, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, but how big is too big or not big enough?
I don't know. I mean, Braun's got to feel some kind of way about that.
Again, this goes back to a question I always ask: is like, yo, are you really about to do this to yourself? Have any respect for your character? But hey, man, the checks. If you a motherfucker who ain't never had no money and the check's getting cut right, and you get money hand over fist, I mean, I guess you got to be cool with it. Moving on to important things, we got 3 matches that impacted the championship picture. Well, before I do that, more WrestleMania match news. We got a tag team match that's probably gonna happen with Miz and Morrison taking on Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. So, a couple things happen. One, 24/7 champion Bad Bunny is no more. He just handed it to R-Truth.
In exchange for the Austin belt, I think I saw.
Yeah, for the 316 celebration, yeah. Whatever.
Which really just goes to show how nobody fucking regards that 24/7 belt as being anything.
Exactly. And they got rid of that after the squabble that happened in the ring with Miz. So it was Damian Priest against Jackson Ryder. In case people who don't know who that is, that's Elias's boy.
I was so mad they buried my man like fast. Why they had to kill him that quick, man? What the hell?
Hey, Drew, Elias he's top billing. So I don't know why this is happening to his boy. He should be getting top billing too. But anyway,
you got to break away from Elias, man.
Well, you know, that's not my truth.
Well, you don't want to break away from Elias because you're only in that spot because of Elias.
That burial spot? Oh, gee.
Hey, you got to walk to run, okay? This man's crawling right now. Elias can get you on your feet. Then you're going to walk.
Elias isn't even walking.
Yeah, Drew, you're right. He is crawling like a commuter train just crushed his fucking legs. You're right.
Sorry, Mac. I'm sorry. I'm trying to look at the numbers here, and man, how many iTunes sales do you have?
Oh my God. You're right, man.
Go back to sales.
Hey, Drew, what is the single that Elias released that got him all those sales? Don't look it up either.
That single is entitled "I Am Elias."
Oh man, if the confidence in your voice wasn't rattling, I would have believed. But I digress. Speaking of guitars, Miz had his own guitar solo on Raw, and that was put into the back of Damian Priest after their match with Jackson Ryder. So
I think it was Bad Bunny actually, wasn't it?
Oh no, wait, you're right. It was Bad Bunny that took it. So Bad Bunny came from the Grammys, where they award people for winning illustrious feats in music, and he got hit with a guitar and awarded with a back shot on Raw.
Oh, dude.
Pause. So we're gonna get that match on top of the Shane and Strowman, which right now they're coming in hard right now. Hard D+. Pick it up, WWE. Pick it up. The New Day become tag team champions for the 11th time as they beat the Hurt Business. Swervy, what does that mean for the Hurt Business faction as a whole?
You know, it's difficult to say because when they lost this tag match, there was no miscommunication or anything like that. They didn't even show them arguing in the back. I guess we'll have to wait till next week to see what happens. But, you know, as I'm sure everyone knows, they're not getting the old rematch clause that people often do, even when they lose. In order to, you know, just because you couldn't have the heel dynamic, I guess. But yeah, it was interesting.
They were teasing that for 4 or 5 weeks, and I hate that they just did it this way. But
it was a clean loss.
I don't know if this means they'll get it back at Mania and what.
Oh no, it doesn't mean they won't.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, we got to get our customary multi-man match for some championship. Do you think it'll be this?
Depends on how they feel about your boy Omos. If he needs that many people to kind of disguise him, or if he's good with just 2-on-2.
Okay. And one other notable thing before we get to the main event, picture Alexa Bliss addressed Randy Orton, telling him that Fastlane would be his chance to get her out of his life if he was willing to take it. I think 95% we get a Wyatt/Fiend appearance for the match between him and Orton at WrestleMania. I don't know how they'll do it. I thought we were going to get a rebrand, but I think we're going to get the same Fiend on TV.
I don't know, but I told you Alexa was going to be fighting Randy Orton. Still waiting on Ric Flair versus Charlotte Flair, though.
Come on, man. Is that something you want to see?
I'm just proving how WWE is, man. That's all.
We all know if Ric Flair would be in a match, it'll probably be something like, I don't know, how to embarrass yourself for very little money on a pole match. Whore yourself out on a pole match. Whoever wins has to win it by doing something very embarrassing. And I think we're years and decades past seeing Ric Flair do anything combative in the ring, even if it is against his daughter.
She gonna carry him.
Well, you know what? He might walk her down to the ring.
Who, Charlotte?
Yeah, if anything.
That would be weird because weren't they just like in like a feud against each other, and now he'd be walking her down to the ring?
Well, no, the last interaction was her telling him to go home. And it wasn't like, take your ass home, Dad. It was, hey, Dad, I know, you and Lacey, let's put that behind us. It was kind of that calming tone that she had when this segment happened. So, yeah. I mean, that's where things stand, I think. So, we'll see. Okay. Earlier in the night, we got Miz against Drew McIntyre. I don't know what the hell that was for. But McIntyre got the win.
What you mean you don't know what that's for? That was your boy.
I know he's done, man. I get it. I know how to move on graciously. I get it. The way that he won the match, though, was very telling. And it was by way of submission, where he put Miz in the Hurt Lock and flung Miz around, not Lashley style, because I don't think he could do it, but it wasn't like a rag doll. It was more, more tame than that, but he still did it, and he beat Miz.
Are you saying he's got 10% heel in him?
Because we're under the assumption that when you steal a finisher, it's a heel move?
I mean, I don't think that's ever changed. I would still agree with that.
No, I won't say that because look at what happened with Rock and Austin, where they did it to each other. I also don't think you're going to see.
Well, Rock was the heel, so of course he was going to do it, and Austin was just being an a-hole. A face that everyone loved. So I know you can use that. You can't use that one. You got to give me somebody else.
There's been countless times where that's happened, where there was a clear face and a clear heel. But is Drew McIntyre a clear face? He's not an asshole like Austin, but he definitely isn't a clear face. But you're not going to see Lashley do the Claymore next week because that's not how he rolls. So after that, you got was it Sheamus and Lashley?
That was the main event.
What was the match in between that? Because something else happened.
With them?
Yeah, I feel like something happened before that. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But main event was Lashley against Sheamus, and McIntyre was waiting ringside. Now, Swervey, riddle me this. Why the hell is Sheamus in a match, which will probably main event Fastlane, and have it not be for anything? Because McIntyre has already claimed he's going to fight Lashley at Mania.
Well, first, let me just say that Raw main event match was great. I think that was a... Huh?
No, it was.
I think that was a test for Lashley to see if he can go about 20 minutes, and he proved it. I don't know. I actually wanted for Drew to interfere before the match so that Sheamus could be saved, because as much as I love Lashley and I like the championship reign, but I don't agree with just beating Sheamus 3 times in a row. And he got beat here clean with no interference, and he's going to probably get beat next week. This weekend at Fastlane. And they already told you before this match that no matter what, even if he wins, he's not going to get a championship. A championship victory. The only other time I can recall something like this happening, and it was with Stone Cold Steve Austin, no less, is when he was going to challenge for the title at WrestleMania, and he lost his match with Triple H in between that pay-per-view. And I thought that made no sense, but they just let him, he just went ahead and challenged it anyway. So Sheamus is a little different. He's not Steve Austin. He's lost a little bit more, and they just kind of just already wrote him off. I don't see the point of them having this match. I really don't understand why Drew is beating him up again. I mean, I know that their storyline was, hey, the last time we clashed, we knocked each other out. Nobody got a decision, but the champion just beat you clean. So even though it was a really good match between the two of them, I don't get what they were trying to do here. Like, Sheamus is he looks strong in the matches, but he's losing them. So at the same time, it doesn't really help him. So unless Sheamus is going to beat Drew McIntyre somehow, I don't think they would make this a triple threat. I hope they don't. But I don't know what that was for. It was one of those decisions where, like I said, I had me scratching my head.
My big issue with this is there's no payoff for Sheamus.
Well, yeah.
Like,
there never has been, though. Not even 2 weeks before.
Yeah, that stinks. That grinds my gears. Especially when you're putting. I mean, what you could have done, you could have created the illusion of it being Sheamus and McIntyre number 1 contender match.
That's all they had to do. I mean, the writing was right there for them. And then you just protect Sheamus by having Drew interfere on that night. Everybody would have been fine with that. And you go on and have the match. That way, Sheamus don't look like a clown. But he's taken about what 3 L's already. So I don't really. Yeah, it didn't help. You know.
It's disrespectful for Sheamus to be in this. I mean, what do you expect? Look what they did to my boy Miz. So, are you surprised? Because I'm not.
But on the other hand, Lashley's looking superb out there, boy.
Now that hurt lock he put on, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He did his thing. Question is, will he retain at Mania? We'll have to figure that out in about 2 weeks, because Mania is like not even a month away. Doesn't even feel like it though.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see if Drew gets a little bit more heelish as the time grows near.
That is it for Raw.
Or hell, maybe Sheamus will cost him during the match. Never know.
Yeah, true. Drew, did you want to get the pay-per-view started?
Yeah, let me pull it up. We're going to Fastlane.
That's right. Put in your seatbelts.
Okay, the very first pay-per-view that will be taking place on the Peacock Network.
It's the cock.
Now, will you guys be watching just to see how it is?
Maybe.
I won't have it, so I won't be watching.
You don't have Peacock Network?
Nah. Should I have had this prior to this switch?
Oh wait, because it's $5.99. You have to pay for it, don't you?
Mm.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know if I will.
I already have it, so.
You said you already have it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm already paying for the network. Plus, I get to, put another $5 into my account because it's not $10 anymore.
Okay, so first match that we have is Women's Tag Team Championships. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler with Reginald taking on Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair.
Is Who Cares?
What?
I said, is Who Cares an option?
Well, that's your pay.
Who?
Sasha Nia Jax.
Nah, man, come on, man. Where you been at, Drew?
I mean, I am suffering from post-concussion syndrome due to Nia Jax. She's that sloppy.
I thought you would suffer from old girl chewing you a new one in the parking lot of Domino's. Nia and Shayna to retain.
Yeah.
They made a thing about them being the first people to walk in going against each other at WrestleMania while holding the tag team belts since some other team. I couldn't recall who they were, but it was somebody a while back. But I don't think that they'll do that. There will be some miscommunication and they will lose. My only question here is whoever takes the pin tells you the rest of the story, right?
Yeah. Next up, we have Alexa Bliss taking on Randy Orton.
NC, no contest.
Who is this? Randy Orton against who?
Alexa Bliss.
Oh. Yeah, I'm with Swerve. No contest.
I'm going to say Alexa Bliss wins because the Fiend will show up and lay Randy out.
Yeah, but will there be a pinfall? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm assuming
If
she's
it just goes off and shows the logo, that's not a win.
Yeah, she's just gonna pin him after the Fiend shows up and cleans him out, like literally right as the match starts.
She knows sells his RKO. I respect that more.
She just pops right back up. And then we have the anticipated, anxiously awaited Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon.
I think this will be a squander.
I thought we were getting this at Mania.
Nope, this
Don't
is
worry,
Fastlane.
we will. I think that this will be a Shane will squander out of this somehow, and it won't happen, or it won't be what you think. Could be the return of the Mean Street Posse for all we know.
You guys think anything else better to do?
I am going to say that Shane's going to win this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Shane too. Just because Braun Strowman, whatever, bro.
Then the next one is Drew McIntyre taking on Sheamus.
What's on the line here again, Drew?
Absolutely nothing, it looks like. I'm going to say Drew McIntyre gets the win.
As easy as this is still kind of a tough call. Because I just don't know why this is here, other than we need a match filler. I mean, they're not even doing a different match type. Right? You don't see that, do you?
No, it's just normal singles match.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm going to pick Sheamus. Lashley isn't on this card. And in order to humiliate Drew, I think Lashley will cost Drew this match.
Next, we have Big E taking on Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship.
Pick the match?
Huh?
I said, can I get my pick?
I was waiting for you. Put down the controller.
I don't have a controller in my hands.
I can hear you, dude.
Well, your ears are deceiving you, bro. Swervy picked Sheamus. I'm going with McIntyre. Just keeping the trend alive of disrespect. You know, I'll see the writing on the wall. That's my pick.
Big E taking on Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship.
It's Fastlane, Big E.
Yeah, Big E.
Yeah, I will also go with Big E here.
Then lastly, Roman taking on Daniel Bryan, WWE Universal Championship. Either Edge or Jey Uso will be the special guest enforcer.
Oh, so this is how they're going to get that triple threat match in there. Okay. Well, Roman will win, obviously, but I don't know if Edge is going to be the fast count guy. I mean, we could just kind of assume Edge will beat Jey Uso, right? At the next SmackDown show.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to fast count him or not, but and you know, not like on purpose, but you know, or Daniel Bryan may perceive it as a fast count. You know, I don't know, but yeah, Roman will beat Daniel Bryan somehow, but where it doesn't look like it was a clean defeat. So some protection will be applied. They'll throw a condom on Daniel Bryan.
Uh, I, you know, it's something else we didn't talk about. I think that Daniel Bryan is going to win. He's going to be in the match. And one thing we didn't talk about earlier was a reason why they would put him in the match is because of the live crowd. And when they hear that Yes music at 75% capacity, even though it's dead.
Is that our magic number, the 75%?
Listen, man, even though it's dead, that shit gonna jump.
It's gonna
And
feel like 100.
it's gonna feel like it's 125 in there, like they claim it to be. I think that's why he's in this match. Big fight feel. Interests matter in a big fight feel scenario.
Well, I'm not gonna disagree, but I think that's the reason Edge is in this match is because of the crowd, not necessarily Daniel Bryan. But I hear you.
But I think Daniel Bryan's music, even though, listen, credit to Rob Zombie, I still think Edge's music pops less than Daniel Bryan's does. And when you hear that, it's like, all right, I see y'all. I think that's why he's in it. That to me makes the most sense. And also with Bryan hitting the whatchamacallit kick. I forgot what you call it. But his finisher. He hits that, that's gonna get the crowd going.
That ain't nothing but a Claymore.
Yeah, Claymore before the Claymore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
all.
He's his knee, but you can't really tell.
Yeah, that's just what I think. So Bryan will be winning this match.
You think he's walking out with the championship, huh?
At Fastlane,
Yeah.
it's for the championship.
You did hear that, right?
Yeah, it's for the Universal title.
Why else would we fight Roman?
I thought it was for him to get into the triple threat at Mania.
No, it's for him to get in the main event of WrestleMania as the champion.
Oh yeah. No, this has DQ written all over it.
Yeah.
This has DQ written all over it.
Drew, did you say it was a guest referee or a guest enforcer?
The guest enforcer. It'll either be Edge or Jey Uso as the guest enforcer. So the guy outside the ring.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, it'll be Edge because they haven't. Every WrestleMania they do this, where they bring in this old retread guy. He can't show up every Monday night or Friday night in this case. So now you got to give him his TV time. And here it is.
Has there ever been a DQ or some kind of finish like that when there was a guest enforcer? I guess is what I'm trying to think about. Or a guest referee for that matter.
I don't know. I just can't see Daniel Bryan beating Roman clean. Or I can't see him beating Roman clean or beating Roman at all, excuse me.
Oh, yeah, I think we all agree on that. But you just don't see Roman beating Daniel Bryan and that being that?
It's a good backup plan. But if that was the case, why would you put Edge and Daniel Bryan together in the first place?
Oh, well, to cause some controversy for the finish, but I mean, still gonna be a finish. That's what I would say.
Now, it is a possibility, so I'm going to ask you, but you don't think they're going to go with Daniel Bryan versus Edge, right?
Where?
At Mania.
No.
The question has to be asked. It has to be. That's why I put it out there. You say no, but you thought about it.
No, I thought about why you asked it. I'm just like, it's one of those questions on your application that's pre-filled already, where you don't have to, it's already checked to no.
Okay, got you. This match is basically us selecting the 3 fire hydrants, so we could move on to checking out. Gotcha. All right. That was the entire Fastlane card. Yes, Drew?
Yep.
All right. Well, like we always end the episode, we have something from an avid listener.
Avalanche.
It is the avid listener, Avi, with his weekly email question of the week. Thank you, Avi, for making them less lewd than what they have been in years past. Now, I say that. Please don't read me something lewd for me to take it back, because we haven't got one of those in a while.
Okay, so yeah, I think this is what he. Okay, so he sent Swerve after our conversation yesterday. I went to Moe's for lunch today to give it another try.
Woof.
After consuming that, I still stand by my opinion. Chipotle greater than Salsaritas. That's greater than Moe's. With that, I understand if I'm no longer allowed to participate in No Pyro.
That's all he said.
That's all he said.
Because I like Moe's, so I told him he was going on about Salsaritas and the other 2 places. I was like, nah, Moe's is better.
Well, the Salsaritas on Triple Y, apparently they had roaches.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I took them out my race.
That's a extra topping you didn't ask for, huh?
At all. But hey, just like eating nachos, when you bite down in, you get that crunch. Yeah, I mean, don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, I've never eaten at Moe's. And Chipotle definitely is number 1. Just because of their bowls alone.
Never eaten at Moe's, and you're already judging it, and then you're giving Chipotle number 1. That's amazing.
I mean, I've eaten at Chipotle, and the bowls they're legit.
All right, man. Let's end the show.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear no more from this guy.
What did I say? I was biased.
I mean,
Prejudging.
you are what you are.
Make it like Jason Jordan. Wrap it up and throw it out.
Oh man,
he didn't even wrap it up. I don't think
he didn't.
I don't even know if he wrapping up, man. He might be just out there. You know what I'm saying?
Damn it!
Why can't he be more like Charlie Haas?
Sausage.
I mean, not Charlie Haas. The other American Alpha, whatever his name is. I can't think of his name.
Oh, Chad Gable?
Yeah, the one that's still active. I can't think of his name. Ain't that something?
Chad Gable. Poor fellow. All right. Well, enjoy Fastlane on the Peacock Network this week. First one in its inception. There will be bugs. Kind of like
just like Chipotle or Salsaritas.
Yeah. I kind of get my Daniel Day-Lewis going on right there with the There Will Be Blood, There Will Be Bugs. No one caught that, though. Okay. Should be a fun time. Enjoy the pay-per-view. I know I'll watch, but I won't be watching, if you can understand that. My name is Total Mac. That is Swervy Lee. That is No Chill Drew. Hit us up on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Apple Music, SoundCloud, under the name No Pyro Podcast, and listen to this episode and previous versions. We will be back. Man, this does not feel like WrestleMania is less than 3 weeks away. Maybe next week it will. But until then, y'all have a good night. Deuces.